The moment of BTS Errorang World Tour 2026 concert at Foxborough Day 2 again became a hot discussion among the ARMY around the world. Not only because of the spectacular performance that managed to amaze tens of thousands of fans who packed the stadium, but also because of a surprising confession from Jungkook and Jimin regarding JIN's condition that made the fans immediately worried. Since the beginning of the concert, the atmosphere of Foxborough Day 2 did feel different. The 7 BTS members performed with incredible energy, performing their hits in turn. ARMY's cheers continued to echo throughout the stadium, creating such a beautiful sea of purple light. But in the midst of the excitement, fans began to realize that there was something different about JIN. Some of the soldiers who were present immediately claimed to have noticed that JIN looked a little calmer than usual. Despite still smiling and interacting with fans, there are moments when the worldwide handsome is seen taking a longer breath after completing a fairly intense choreography. At first, many fans considered this to be ordinary fatigue due to a very busy world tour schedule. But everything changed when ment sessions or talking sessions with fans began towards the end of the concert. As the members stood in a row on stage to deliver a message to the ARMY, Jungkook suddenly made a confession that instantly left the stadium silent for a moment. In a relaxed yet thoughtful tone, Jungkook said that JIN was actually trying hard throughout the night's performance. BTS's Magne speech immediately made fans curious. Jungkook later explained that since before the concert started, JIN had been showing signs of fatigue due to the intense activity in the past few days. Nevertheless, JIN still insisted on giving the best performance for the ARMY. Jungkook's statement immediately provoked a reaction from Jimin, who was standing next to him. Jimin smiled and added that JIN has always been a figure who does not want to make fans worry. Even when he feels less fit, he still tries to appear as if everything is fine. The speech made the fans who were present immediately give applause and cheers of support to JIN. The oldest member of BTS looks a little embarrassed when he becomes the center of attention. JIN waved his hand several times with a smile, as if he wanted to calm ARMY, who was starting to worry after hearing Jungkook and Jimin's explanation. But the moment was even more touching when Jungkook spoke again. According to Jungkook, during rehearsals and preparations for the concert, JIN remained one of the members who was most active in giving encouragement to all the members. Although his condition is not completely prime, he still jokes and keeps the atmosphere backstage so that everyone feels comfortable. The confession immediately made the ARMY even more overwhelmed. On social media, many fans praised JIN's dedication to always putting the audience first. Some even claimed not to realize that the idol was holding back fatigue because his performance remained professional throughout the concert. Jimin then added another story that made the atmosphere even more emotional. According to him, before going on stage, JIN made sure that all the members were ready to perform. Instead of focusing on himself, JIN pays more attention to the other members. "He's really an amazing Hyung," said Jimin, who was greeted by cheers from the audience. That simple sentence instantly made the stadium roar. The ARMY that was present started shouting JIN's name simultaneously. Long chants filled the stadium, creating one of the most moving moments throughout Foxborough Day 2. JIN, who looked touched, then bowed deeply to the fans. He thanked the ARMY for its continued support and explained that he was doing well. Despite feeling a little tired, he insists that performing in front of fans always gives him new energy. The statement was immediately greeted by cheers of relief from the audience. Even so, many soldiers still couldn't hide their concerns. Shortly after the concert ended, various pieces of video from the moment began to go viral on various social media platforms. Keywords related to JIN, Jungkook, and Jimin instantly became a hot topic discussed by fans from different countries. Many fans said they were touched to see Jungkook and Jimin's attention to JIN. The close relationship of the BTS members has always been one of the reasons why this group is so loved. They not only look compact when performing on stage, but also always take care of each other behind the scenes. Foxborough Day 2 became a vivid proof of the bond. In the midst of a tiring tour schedule, the members still pay attention to each other's condition. Jungkook and Jimin spontaneously discussing JIN's condition on stage shows how much they care about Sanghyun. The moment also showed another side of JIN, who had been known as the bearer of a cheerful atmosphere in the group. Behind the smiles and jokes that he often shows, JIN is still an ordinary human who can feel tired after undergoing a very busy schedule. But his dedication to giving the best to fans makes him continue to perform optimally. Many soldiers considered that Jungkook and Jimin's recognition actually made them respect JIN even more. Instead of being considered a weakness, the condition shows the incredible professionalism of the idol. Throughout the Foxborough Day 2 concert, JIN still finished the whole performance very well. His vocals sounded stable, his interaction with the audience remained warm, and his energy on stage was still able to make tens of thousands of ARMY cheer hysterically. That's why many fans were surprised to learn that he was actually struggling with fatigue. Not a few then flooded social media with messages of support. They hope JIN can get enough rest on the sidelines of a busy tour schedule. Many also thanked him for his hard work during the concert. Meanwhile, footage of Jungkook and Jimin's expressions when talking about JIN's condition is also a highlight. The fans judged that both of them looked really sincere and worried towards Seokjin. The way they talk shows how close the relationship is between the 7 BTS members after so many years together. The longer the video went on, the more emotional ARMY felt. Some said they almost cried when they saw how the members looked after each other. Amid global popularity and a very busy schedule, their friendship remains the most valuable thing. Foxborough Day 2 ended up being remembered not only as a night of music and spectacular performances, but also as a night that showed the warmth of BTS family relationships. Jungkook and Jimin's confession about JIN's condition may have caused the ARMY to panic. But at the same time, the moment also shows how much love and attention there is between the members. And as always, JIN managed to calm the fans with his warm smile. Although fatigue had become a concern, his passion and dedication on stage again proved why he has always been a figure so loved by millions of ARMY around the world. Until now, the Foxborough Day 2 moment is still being talked about by fans. Many called it one of the most touching moments during the BTS Errorang World Tour 2026 series. Not because of the grandiose performance or incredible stage effects, but because of a simple confession that shows the sincere relationship between BTS members. Behind sparkling stage lights and the cheers of tens of thousands of fans, ARMY was reminded that BTS's greatest strength is not only their music, but also the bond of brotherhood that they always show at every opportunity. After the moment went viral, various ARMY communities around the world began to discuss again how JIN always tries to look strong for the sake of his fans. Many shared old clips showing the dedication of BTS's oldest member over the years. From the time of his debut to the latest world tour, JIN is known as a figure who always puts the happiness of fans as the top priority. On Foxborough Day 2, it was again very clearly visible. Although Jungkook and Jimin openly revealed that JIN was struggling with fatigue, there was not a single moment during the concert that showed a decrease in the quality of his performance. On the contrary, JIN still appeared full of energy while performing BTS's flagship songs, running around the stage, greeting fans on various sides of the stadium, and several times throwing jokes that made the entire stadium laugh. ARMY who watched Fancam from various angles then began to notice small details that were previously missed. Some fans noticed that JIN wiped his face several times and took a short pause to catch his breath while the members were talking. But since he kept smiling and continued to interact with the audience, almost no one expected that his physical condition was not 100% excellent. What made the moment even more touching was the reaction of the other members. When Jungkook and Jimin talk about JIN's condition, J-Hope, Suga, and Taehyung's expressions also look attentive. They smiled at JIN several times while nodding, as if confirming what the two members had said. The simple sight made many soldiers feel that BTS had indeed developed into a family that looked after each other. On social media, many fans wrote that they felt touched not because of the news of JIN's fatigue, but because of the way the members paid attention to him. Some even said that the moment was one of the real proofs of BTS's friendship that has not changed despite having passed more than a decade together. A number of fans who were present directly at the stadium also shared their experiences. According to them, after Jin's condition was discussed on stage, the cheers of support from the army sounded much louder than before. Many onlookers chanted Jin's name repeatedly as a form of encouragement and support. The sea of purple light sticks swaying together creates a very emotional scene. Jin himself seemed moved to see the response. He lowered his head several times with a shy smile. In one of the moments, he even put his hand on his chest as a sign of gratitude to the fans who continued to give him their relentless support. According to a lot of ARMY, the most moving part happened when Jungkook jokingly said that Jin should rest more often and not always force himself for the sake of looking perfect. The phrase was immediately greeted with laughter throughout the stadium. But behind the joke, fans can feel the genuine concern Jungkook has for Sang-hyun. Jimin also added that Jin is always the first to make sure all the members are in good condition before thinking about himself. The speech made many onlookers long applause. Some fan cameras even captured Jin's expression looking touched to hear the praise from the younger members. The more videos that are circulating, the more stories from fans who feel the moment Foxborough Day 2 has a very special meaning. For them, the evening was not just about music, but about the sense of community that has been the foundation of BTS. The relationship between the members looks so sincere that millions of fans around the world feel the same warmth. Until a few days after the concert ended, Jin's name was still one of the most discussed topics in the ARMY community. Many fans sent messages of support and wished her enough rest before continuing with the next schedule in the Errorang World Tour 2026 series. Although it had made the ARMY panic, Jungkook and Jimin's confession in the end actually showed something much more important. The moment shows that behind BTS's global success, the members still care for each other, take care of each other, and never hesitate to show their affection for each other. Foxborough Day 2 will be remembered as one of the most emotional nights of the tour. Not because of a big incident or a spectacular stage surprise, but because of a simple conversation that showed the human side of BTS members. And among all the highlights of the evening, Jin once again proved why he is so loved by the ARMY around the world, for his sincerity, hard work, and warm smile that he always gives, even when he himself is feeling tired. The moment of Haru was not over after the men's session was over. When the members started walking to various sides of the stage to greet the audience who were in the stands far away, ARMY's attention was still on Jin. Many fan cameras continued to record his every move, trying to see if the member is really okay, as he said before. Interestingly, despite being the center of attention that night, Jin still showed his typical attitude full of humor. As the fans continued to chant his name, he several times made funny expressions and waved his hands in an exaggerated style that immediately provoked the laughter of the entire stadium. The reaction made the atmosphere that had been emotionally warm again. However, behind the joke, many fans feel that there is a deeper meaning. They see how Jin tries to calm the ARMY, which starts to worry after hearing Jungkook and Jimin's explanation. Even when he is the main concern, he still prefers to make fans smile rather than let them continue to feel anxious. One of the most talked about moments occurred when Jungkook accidentally returned to allude to Jin's condition. While the members were joking with each other, Jungkook was seen approaching Jin and embracing him on the shoulder. The simple gesture was immediately greeted with lively cheers from tens of thousands of fans. Hyun has worked very hard today, Jungkook said with a smile. The short sentence immediately made the stadium boisterous again. The genie who heard him only laughed and tried to divert the conversation, but his facial expression showed a sense of being moved that was difficult to hide. Jimin, who was standing near them, also nodded in agreement. He said that Jin almost never complained even though their schedule was very tiring. According to Jimin, that's what makes all BTS members always respect the oldest member. The speech made the fans even more emotional. On various social media, many ARMY began to share stories about how Jin over the years was known as a figure who always gave positive energy to those around him. Even when faced with difficult times, he still tries to smile and make others feel comfortable. Foxborough Day 2 seems to be a real picture of that personality. Although he was exhausted, Jin still performed energetically and did not let his physical condition reduce the quality of the show. Many fans later admitted that they increasingly admired the dedication he had. Some ARMY even called that night one of the biggest proofs of JIN's professionalism as an artist. According to them, it is not easy to still perform optimally in front of tens of thousands of people when the body is not in the best condition. But JIN managed to do it without making anyone realize what he really felt. Meanwhile, the atmosphere backstage after the concert was also the subject of discussion among fans. While there is no official information on what happened after the show ended, many fans speculated that the members may have paid extra attention to JIN. The allegations arise because of their closeness that has often been seen on various previous occasions. ARMY believes that BTS has always taken care of each other, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes. This is what makes many fans feel their relationship is more than just colleagues. After many years together, the 7 members have gone through various challenges and experiences that have strengthened their bond. Foxborough Day 2 reminds fans of that. Despite their huge success as a global group, BTS members continue to show genuine concern for each other. No impression is made or imposed. All look natural and come from relationships that have been built over the years. It is not surprising that many soldiers admitted that they almost cried when they saw Jungkook, Jimin, and JIN's interaction that night. For some fans, the moment seemed much more touching than any spectacular show, because what they see is not just an idol on stage, but a group of friends who really care about each other. A few hours after the concert ended, various video footage from Foxborough Day 2 began to spread very quickly. Many fan accounts uploaded pieces as Jungkook and Jimin discussed JIN's condition. In a short time, the videos were viewed millions of times and sparked thousands of comments from the ARMY around the world. Most of the comments contain prayers and wishes for the JIN to rest sufficiently. Many fans also thanked Jungkook and Jimin for being honest about Seokjin's condition. According to them, the openness shows how much attention the members have towards each other. There are also fans who say that the moment makes them even more proud to be part of the ARMY. They feel BTS not only provides entertaining music, but also shows the values of friendship, hard work, and caring that inspire many people. On the other hand, a number of fans recalled various old moments that showed the close relationship between JIN, Jungkook, and Jimin. Over the years, the three did often show a warm interaction. Jungkook, who is the youngest member, often shows respect and affection for JIN, while Jimin is known as a figure who always pays attention to the condition of the other members and tries to keep the atmosphere harmonious. Therefore, many soldiers were not surprised to see the two so concerned about JIN's condition in Foxborough. What makes the moment special is the fact that everything happens spontaneously on stage. There is no script or special preparation. Jungkook and Jimin just expressed how they felt right then and there. Honesty is what makes fans touched.